What's you going on about, boy? I don't know what I look like today. What do I look like? Is it more pertinent to do that? Well, it'd be good to get a story straight. And there's quite a lot of stories going on. This morning's story is to continue a magical endeavour with shredded, constructed danglies, veils, intersections, verticals, gaps, spaces, rhythms, chaos and order, habit and novelty, folk pop, meta, deconstructions, play of global chaos, play of deconstructed identity, play of augmented reality and dysfunctions, honest understands. The ritual. Framing that inside an altar, a painting that is a structure of containment for altering, for enchanting, in something that interrelates to an entrance. So we evoke a world within which simultaneously exists outside a rational polemic, outside a data-fed neuronal mash-up compost of modernity's mutations, but more of a psychic, personal, idiosyncratic dream. Actually rendered, made, not CGI'd, not team of Chinese labourers on laptops. Something from hermetic past, a synthesis of lived experience, some reconciliation between the fragmented stress and death, and the creation and the magic of life itself, the pregnant earth, the energy of transcendence, of being, that isn't necessarily the body, it's an idea. And so that's the story this morning, to continue with the work. That's the work. That's as much as as much as my rhetoric is perhaps troubled regional South Island, New Zealand. There's an overmind of the global, the big picture, and we all come from somebody else. Somebody else. We all come from somebody else. Yes, we do. And at one stage, we all represented the best possible outcome for that somebody else. So there is actually a responsibility to live up to some of that. Because we were believed in. Our ancestors certainly thought so. You know, that's the life impulse. I mean, I've been enchanting old brain, you know, and it's completely conscious. You know, it's, you know, like Len Lai's idea of old brain was art as an evolutionary driver of the species. Creation, adaptation, you know, invention, and the synthesis of the psychic self, of the personal self, of the emotional body, and the environment. You know, like this is the bit where we're lagging behind people. We're very good at engineering and tech, you know, and you know, this enlarging fourth industrial fucking makeover. But we're not very good at our hearts, are we? You know, like where we actually live, in our hearts and our psyches, and how we create our own diseases and mental problems and family dysfunctions. We're not very good at that. In fact, a lot of us would probably prefer some kind of jail system, so at least we can conform to it getting right. You know, someone else's idea of getting it right, like a state school program or a Microsoft program or an ankle bracelet or a Fitbit. You know, it's like I don't think that's reality. I think that's some kind of B&D session with, you know, like the toy manufacturers. There's this, yeah, we're magical beings, and we're being magical, and this is it. You know, I suppose one of the byproducts of being an artist my whole life, I've done some labouring. I mean, I've done some other work. I've been a kitchen hand and a removal guy and a house painter, and you know, I've done some labouring on farms and shit. You know, I've done some jobs, but for the most part, you know, I've run around putting up my pictures, and so been my own manager, you might say, who is now incapable of fitting in with other people's management, because we just don't see eye to eye about what it's about. And I keep telling you what it's about in these wee talks. And your fields of reference are like some kind of blinkered, you know, like art's a glorious entity. You know, we should be worshipping at the temple of art. We should be dancing and wearing our finest and strangest costumes and reciting our poems and spells to each other and secret discourses in the corner of the temple. You know, we should be getting together and cushions and chanting for 4 days solid in the temple of art, you know. And we've turned it into some kind of, you know, post-human bake sale of limiting possibility of ego and attachment in our desperate little fucking careers. It's just so sad. It's just so sad. You know, I mean, Why would you give a child a crayon? Why would you send anyone to art school? It's just a meat grinder of disappointment, and mood disorders and medication awaits. There's pretty much no hope inside the... Oh, anyway, we won't go there, James. There is a lot of hope. I mean, we live it. We are the native planting, We are the regenerating forest, I mean, that's what I am. I mean, please, like... So, what was I saying? Altar pieces. To a spiritual endeavour about reconciliation of the sacred inside the fragmenting death container of culture. Yeah, I think that's a good story. Certainly madness is inevitably part of that. And some, fine silver thread to a higher self. Let's hope that is possible too.